everybody, and welcome back to a new video. This one is definitely going to seem out of place because it's not something I typically make very often. I taught myself how to sew when I was in middle school, and then when I went to high school, I was very lucky enough that my school had a fashion class, which is where they taught you like the basics of sewing, which I kind of already knew, but I would only make dresses when I first started. And the first thing we actually sewed on the machine was a pair of pajama pants. I would say they are pretty easy to make because they are so loose and the band was elastic, so there was much more room for error if you made any. So today for this video, I decided that I will also be shooting a tutorial of how you make these pants. I have been in the need for some comfy pants. When it gets colder at school, I definitely struggle a lot, when it gets later in the night and I'm not feeling the want to dress up as much and I'm like, okay, I need something casual, and I have like 2 pairs of pants to pick from. So I found this really cute fabric at Joann, and it was so cute, and I knew I wanted to make a cool pair of pants with it that were nice and loose and of course have pockets. So enjoy this tutorial of watching me make these pants. To begin, I roughed out the pieces I would need for my pants and used a tape measure to figure out my measurements. Like I mentioned earlier, the pants are a baggier and looser fit, so I wasn't nervous about making any errors. Starting with the front and back pant legs, I folded my fabric in half and sketched out the pieces according to my measurements. To help you make the measurements, you could always use a pair of pants that you already own and trace them out, making sure to add in the seam allowance. I personally like to use the tape measure against the area that I am finding the measurement of to ensure that they will fit me properly. Once you have the pieces traced, you just then cut them out. With the 2 front pieces right sides together, I sewed the crotch seams to make them one piece. Then, taking the back pant pieces, I sewed those crotch pieces together as well, then serged both of the seam allowances. It can be easy to get the pant legs confused, so I usually put a safety pin in the front leg pieces to help me tell them apart. One of the joys about making your own clothes is the ability to add pockets, and I knew that I had to do that on these pants. I made sure that the pocket was deep enough for my hand to comfortably fit in, along with being able to hold other things such as my phone. Once I was happy with the size, I then cut out 4 of them, 2 pieces for each side. Taking the side that would be the pocket opening, I serged down that side on all 4 of my pocket pieces. Leaving an opening for my hand, I sewed together 2 pieces of the pocket, right sides together, and then repeated for the other 2 pieces. Then I serged the seam allowance down to make it less bulky. Matching up the inseam crotch area, I put the front and back pant legs together, right sides together, making sure that it was secure. I would recommend starting with the crotch seam and working down one pant leg and then going back to the crotch seam and then going down the other leg to ensure that the crotch seams of both the front and back pant legs stay matched up. After it was nicely pinned, I sewed it straight down and then serged the seam allowance. Taking each side of the pants, I serged all 4 pieces individually, then went on to attach the pockets. Opening up the opening of each pocket, I pinned each side of the pocket to a side of the pant leg, making sure that the right sides were together. I made sure to only connect it to one side of the pants because putting them together would sew the pocket closed and thus defeating its function. Then, like sewing up the back of a garment under a zipper, I connected the rest of the bottom of the pant side seam under the pocket and sewed everything together. I like to start with sewing the sides of the pocket first, then sewing down the pant side seams because I just find it makes everything a whole lot easier. My tripod was acting up on me, but using the pants as a guide, I cut out 2 rectangle strips to act as my waistband and then sewed them together, right sides together, to form a long tube. Then, using my iron, I first folded down the raw edge on the top of the strip and then the bottom of the strip, and then folded it in half to tuck the raw edge into the fold. Taking my pants, I sandwich in the top raw edge into the waistband, making sure to fold the pockets forward towards the front center seam and also sandwich those into the waistband. I then sewed down the waistband, leaving a small opening to be able to insert the elastic, and I also decided to top stitch down the top of the waistband, making sure to stay close to the top edge so there would still be enough room for my elastic. Using the safety pin method, where you hook the safety pin onto the edge of the elastic and push it through the waistband, I inserted the elastic into the waistband, and then using a zigzag stitch, connected the two elastic pieces together to make it one cohesive piece, making sure that the zigzag stitching was secure. Tucking the elastic back into the waistband, I sewed close the opening and then did a simple rolled hem along the bottom of both pant legs, and then everything was complete.